Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. So there was a shooting, and it's being investigated as like an act of terrorism in eastern France in Strasbourg, the city of Strasbourg, which is pictured there. And it was right at where there's almost like a Christmas village, very decorated, festive plaza or area. Um, I guess for tourism and such. It's also the site of the European Parliament. So right now, it's 4 people were killed and 12 injured. Although I think some of the numbers have been changing. It started out as 1 dead, and then it climbed to 2 and to 3, and now it's 4 confirmed dead, with 12 others injured, and 6 of those 12 were serious or in critical condition. But actually, I think one of those 6 became one of the 4 that are now confirmed dead, if that makes sense. And the gunman, who is known to the French authorities, is still at large. Still at large. I just saw a report that he may have been actually wounded, but he's on the run, and they're trying to locate him right now. And they have something like 350 different French security officers hunting for him. But he's obviously at this stage very dangerous. We'll see how this develops and what else happens from here. So, and actually, European Parliament, which it's 3 in the morning in France by now. This happened, I believe, at 8 p.m. this evening in France. 7 hours ago. But the European Parliament was shut down, and people were ordered not to leave until further notice. But that may be from hours ago. And there is various pieces of video. He's been identified. Like I said, the authorities know him. I think he was on some kind of a watch list. And in fact, according to the BBC, it says he fought twice with our security officers, said Interior Minister Christopher Castaner. I don't know if I think that's during this incident, actually. But he's known to. France's counterterrorism prosecutor has opened an investigation. 6 of the injured are said to be in serious condition, while 6 others suffered light injuries, confirming that 3 people have died, and that is grown to 4. Mr. Kastner said that border controls had been strengthened with 350 security agents hunting for the gunman. He added that security at all Christmas markets would be stepped up. There's various pieces of video. There's one with you can see some people helping wounded.
Shortly after 8 p.m., I should say,
and there's video over at Twitter and over at YouTube too. And I'm not even sure whose videos these are. It looks like they took them from various places. Here, in addition to hearing the gunshots fired, you don't see the gunman or anything like that, but they show an ID of somebody who I presume is the gunman that is known to authority, is being reported somewhere in some media outlet, but I haven't seen it actually. I haven't seen the name actually reported, but he has been identified. I mean, I saw that images from the scene show police officers, police vehicles, and barricades surrounding the sparkling lights of the market. Some Strasbourg residents reported on social media that they heard gunfire in some parts of the city. Peter Fritz, an eyewitness, told CBS News he was in the area when the shooting broke out. I saw a person with apparently two shots in the head lying on the bridge here. He said, we tried to engage in resuscitation activities. After 45 minutes, we stopped the resuscitation effort because a doctor told us over the phone that it is senseless. It's just terrible, man. Wow. So France has been hit by several extremist attacks. But there is video over Twitter of you could see people running immediately after it. You could see at least one of the wounded on the ground. Looks to be somebody who was shot.
Putain. Non, maman. Oh, mon Dieu. Dieu. Putain.
I don't know if there's something on that pillar there, if they're focusing on that, or if it's just my imagination, if that's just a Christmas decoration or a decoration of the business on that pillar, if that's blood splatter or not. I don't know. I'm not real sure. So over at YouTube, like I said, this person had sort of compiled, I think, videos from various places, one of which you hear the gunshots clearly, and people sort of it's way off in the distance, but you can hear it. And then they show an ID of somebody that I'm fairly certain is, in fact, the gunman that they're hunting for right now. Right there. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I obviously can't read that. I don't even know what language that is, to be honest with you. I mean, that says Strasbourg right there. And I'm just assuming that that is the man they're hunting for. I think that's a pretty safe assumption. So, you know, that's the status of it right now. I don't know that they're going to officially release his identity. Reuters is usually pretty good with their information. Let's check that out as quickly as possible before I wrap this up. A gunman on security watch list killed at least 2 people and wounded at least 11 others. That is 4. I mean, it's 3 over at the BBC. CBS News has it at 4 people killed. Near the picturesque Christmas market in the historic French city of Strasbourg on Tuesday evening before fleeing. With France still on high alert after a wave of attacks commissioned or inspired by Islamic State militants since early 2015, the counterterrorism prosecutor opened an investigation. Amid fast-moving, confusing scene, it was not clear if the suspect, identified by police as Strasbourg-born, there it is, right there, Hijacked Sharif, 29, had been cornered by commandos or had slipped the dragnet. I'm fairly certain he slipped the dragnet and he's still on the run. Medics at the scene and police sources told journalists 4 people had been killed. But in a statement, local prefecture was still saying 2 people had died. So there's some conflicting information. I mean, like I said, BBC says 3, CBS says 2, and Reuters here is just acknowledging that some people on the ground are still saying 2 people have died, not 4. The attack began around 8 p.m. As stall holders prepared to close down and the city's restaurants filled up. Bystanders were swiftly ushered into nearby shops. Apparently, they actually have a procedure in situations like this to evacuate because France is on high alert, as I understand it when I was listening to the BBC's report. And they were actually fairly successful in getting people off the street almost immediately upon, the attack beginning. So let's see if we can't find that dude, though. That's the first place that I've seen his name reported, and that is the name of the dude who was in this this photo right here. Definitely, Hijacked Sharif. That's who's in that Reuters article. So that's the dude right there. If I'm not able to find it somewhere else. That's Hijacked Sharif, 29 years old, on a terrorist watch list. Is that what it said over at Reuters? A gunman on a security watch list. And in this it says he had been cornered by commandos or had slipped the draft net. Well, that was the question. So let's check it out, man. There he is right there, I think. Let me continue. Like I said, that is the individual that they're hunting for right now, Hijacked Sharif, 29. He's pictured there, and that is him in the ID that I was showing you on the YouTube video there. But there's something here that's not totally clear to me, like if there was an incident prior to the attack at 7 or 8 p.m. This says 7 p.m. Other reports say 8 p.m. local time, France time. It's 3 a.m. there now, a little bit later than that since I began this. But authorities have identified the gunman who killed 4 people near a famous Christmas market in the French city of Strasbourg. A manhunt is on to track down Shootout Sharif, 29, a Strasbourg local who is believed to have become radicalized. He's reportedly wounded. This is the part I don't understand. Police raided his home earlier in the day after a failed armed robbery where they found grenades. So the failed armed robbery is what has me. Was there some other incident prior to this, and then an incident, at 8 p.m. or 7 p.m.? Was there a robbery attempt failed, and then this happened later in the day? I don't know. I'm sure we're going to learn. The devastating attack took place at 7 p.m. local time, or was this a failed robbery attempt? At 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Maybe it was. Very well could have been. And a terrorism investigation is underway. The motive for the attack remains unclear. But then, if it was a failed robbery attack, that would be the motive. So I don't know, man. It's so maybe that's just kind of confused reporting, and that failed robbery attack may be a previous incident. That's why he's known to police. I just don't know. So while the shooter is still at large, Strasbourg police have started to release thousands of people confined in buildings in the area of the deadly attack near the French city's Christmas market. There's the dude right there. A police helicopter is circling overhead, and entire neighborhoods of the city remain cordoned off. Gunshots everywhere. On-duty soldiers exchanged fire with the gunman and injured him, but could not stop him escaping. There were gunshots and people running everywhere. One local shopkeeper told local media station BFM TV. It lasted about 10 minutes. The mayor of Strasbourg said the gunman got inside a security zone to stage the attack. All right, so a witness told BBC that one of the people shot and killed in the city of Strasbourg was a Thai tourist who suffered a head wound and didn't respond to efforts to revive him. Peter Fritz, who I described, I think, in the previous report about trying to give him CPR. And Parliament in lockdown. I don't know if it still remains in lockdown at this time. It's now 3:37 a.m. in the morning there. So Strasbourg-based European Parliament was on lockdown after reports of the shooting emerged, with MEPs, members of Parliament, European Parliament, staff, and journalists unable to leave the building. The Parliament was in plenary session with hundreds of MEPs and officials having made a monthly visit to Strasbourg from Brussels, etc., etc. All right, well, that's the story there, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I will see you in the next video. Later, man.